Somewhere on this universe, there is a version of you who got it all because they took the tough decision. They made the wildest dream happen because they had the audacity. They were consistent. They knew that their dreams were bigger than those night outs. Their dreams were bigger than someone else's opinion. They knew they were meant for bigger things, and that's how they made it happen. They didn't care what someone else had to say about them. They knew what their path was, they knew what they wanted from their life, and they got it. They didn't care if someone objectified, they didn't care if someone judged them, they didn't care if people were questioning their worth. They didn't care. All they knew was that they had a vision and they had to make it happen because there was no other option. That was the only option to get what they deserve. Sometimes they questioned their worth. Sometimes there were some days when they felt that they won't be able to make it out, but still they didn't lose hope. They knew some superior power was looking after them, that they were being guided, that no matter how hard they try, they will make it happen. Because if they had this vision, they had this magical dream, they had these big ideas in their mind, it was brought down to them for a reason. They knew that if they work hard enough, they could beat the odds, they could actually make the impossible thing happen. Because people, from time to time, history has repeated itself, and people have shown that they can fight their fate, they can make the impossible thing happen. And that was the vision. That person, that version of you, didn't care about anyone's opinion. They knew what they wanted to do. They left all the things behind. They didn't care about anything. All they focused was in self improvement, in taking care of their own self. They made a better and superior version of their own self in their mind, and then they ran after it because they knew no one is going to come and save them. It's just them against them, them against the old version. Sometimes that version of your, that version of yourself was wise enough to not be, that version of yourself was wise enough to not be, that version of yourself was wise enough to not be distracted by the noises that were around him. That version of you knew what was significant and what was just noises. That version of you, that version of you knew what they wanted from life, and that's why they ran after it. They didn't care. They didn't waste 1 minute thinking about what will people say. They knew that what their vision was. They chose, while taking every decision, what their main focus was: self improvement, self care, self love, and taking care of the people around them as well. The version of you was detaching away from people who were not bringing the best version in you. That version of you didn't care if those people were literally loving you or taking you, that version of you didn't care if someone commented upon their looks, because they knew this body that they have was just a vessel, and this was just to make sure that they reach their true purpose. And besides that, they didn't care about someone else's opinion. They knew that they were taking care of their own self. For a matter of fact, they knew that only their family is going to be the one who's going to support them in the end. In the end, they knew they are their only house, they are their only home. There are going to be days, there are going to be times that you are going to feel lonely, but they knew that was the cost that they had to pay in order to reach where they were meant to reach. They knew the higher version of themselves would know the right path, would know what to do further, because all they had to do was just be consistent, to run after the vision that they have visualized. They knew that everything would pay off, that eventually they will get what they want, they will be at the right place, they will get, and everything would be provided to be, that everything will be provided to be, that everything will be that everything will be provided by the Almighty to them, that this universe is not conspiring against them but is with them, that this universe has been guiding them throughout, that this universe is with them and is supporting them. There are going to be situations when you're going to question yourself, when you're going to question your talent, but you have to remind yourself that you are your soul companion who's going to be with you till the end, and your only focus should be on your own self. Someone else's opinion is not going to pay the bills. Someone else's opinion is not going to make you reach the point where you want to reach.